Hi, welcome to Chat with Dr. Kat. This is Dr. Kat. Nice to see you today. So today is going to be an interesting one because I'm going to come to you with complete honesty about my own healthcare and what I've done and what I should be doing. So part of this is about us as women taking care of ourselves. We take care of everyone. We have to slow down sometimes and we have to take care of ourselves. So, as always, no fluff, no judgment, real talk that leads to real change. If you have any questions or thoughts, go to chatwithdrkat.com. You want to be a guest on the show, just want to give feedback, let me know. So, oftentimes in women's health care, we're looking through and we're seeing what type of things are available to us. What doctors do we have? Women who are going through menopause, there's a struggle there, which we're having another podcast come up to specifically talk about menopause and what are some things that are out there for women. But as women, sometimes we don't take care of ourselves. We are in tune with our bodies. And I think with women who have children can be even more in tune just because we went through that process and actually had, a baby moving within our body that allowed us to be more in tune with those feelings. But in general, women as a whole, we're in tune with our bodies because we have something go on every single month that leads us to a place of discomfort, pain, something to attend to. And we do this from when we're very young. So we're used to it. And oftentimes we get to the point where we ignore it. Where we see that, I think this is absolutely fascinating. When you see, I've seen on TikTok, when you see these men, these massive football players that are hooked up to these electrodes and they simulate period cramps. And you see these football players are on a level 3 and they're like this and sweating and unable to even just, sit there in peace. Whereas you see the woman on a level 3 with the electrodes going on with her day, making dinner, making whatever it is. Then they increase it. And the men sometimes when they get to a level 6 are like, please make it stop. They're begging. And the woman is continuing to do, working on an assignment, making out a report, working on food, whatever it is, or just sitting there. What does that tell us? We become accustomed to pain. We navigate through the pain. Oftentimes I hear this with couples that I work with, that, a woman gets sick and keeps on going, keeps dealing with the kids, dealing with work, dealing with everything that they're doing, where oftentimes maybe the other partner sits down, goes to bed for 3 days to just sleep it off. Women don't usually have that in us. And the reason being is because we're used to that. So I'm coming to you today and I am letting you know what happened to me. So about a month ago, I had been traveling. My daughter is studying abroad and we, traveled. I needed to come back home and then I was going to go back abroad for other business reasons. But I came back home to attend to things that go on in my life, my business, as well as family and things like that. And I had jet lag. I was exhausted. Anyway, I was doing some errands and I was at a store and I was in a location where there was several different stores, a Sephora, Nordstrom Rack, Trader Joe's. Anyway, I'm going through. I fall. I trip. It's uneven ground. I trip. I tripped. I landed on my knees and then I went forward. So I try to catch myself. So I'm going forward like this. I drop to my knees very, very hard. And then I go out forward. I wince a little bit. I got up. Some beautiful lady came over to help me. There's actually a little girl that said, "Why did you do that?" I said, she was about 4. And I said, "Oh, I didn't mean to do that." I said, "But I tripped." So sweet. So sweet. So if you're out there, I never got your name, but if you're out there, thank you so much for helping me up. That level of kindness so appreciated and so loved, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you so much for offering your hand to help me up. Anyway, I went about my business. And I remember later on, I was sitting at a friend's daughter's birthday party, and my knee was in utter pain. I felt the pain. I got home later. I iced it. Anyway, this went on and on for days, and I took care of it. No big deal. Still running errands, everything else. A month goes by. I wound up traveling back abroad, needing to finish up some business. Came back. I'm still feeling discomfort, right about here. And I felt it in my knee. I go to the doctor. She says, you need to get x-rays. Great, go get x-rays. Come back. And I said, gosh, my arm, how's my arm? She goes, oh, you pulled it. There's a pull. But you broke your knee. I said, what? She goes, you broke your kneecap? I said, are you sure? She says, you broke your kneecap. How have you been walking on this? And I said, not only have I been walking, I flew. I've just been going. Now, she did shame me. I deserved it. She turned to me and she says, with where we are in access to medical help and coming in, and women, how we're so much about, we have to take care of ourselves. Why didn't you take care of yourself? I said, well, I can give you the excuse, which is I just brushed myself back off, and I got back to work. I did what I normally am doing. And I said, but the other side of it is, I said, you know what? I did myself wrong. I didn't take care of myself. And she was like, I'm glad you said that. I mean, it was really a great moment. And I said, I really need to bring you on this podcast. I'm like, I've got to share this, because as women, we don't take care of ourselves. And I made sure that, obviously I told my family, but I reached out to my children. I said, this is what I did, and I need to now take care of myself. So I've been wearing a brace, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I now have another follow-up with an orthopedist and all of that other stuff. But the reason why I wanted to share this with you, and why I think it's so important, and why I wanted to humble myself and tell you this, is because we do need to take care of ourselves. We are so focused as women, for the most part, to take care of our families, to, take care of coworkers, to take care of a company, to nurture our business, to maybe, make sure we get the car washed, make sure we get, your dogs washed, and making sure food's on the table, making sure that we're hiring people to help us do what we need to do. But sometimes we fall short with ourselves. So I would like to challenge you, as I am challenging myself, to step up and take care of yourself. If there's a doctor's appointment that you need to go to, if there's a follow-up appointment that you need to go to, maybe dermatology, that is something we should be doing on the regular, a dental appointment, whatever it is. This week, this is my challenge to you. This week, sit down, make the time to make the calls necessary for your doctor's appointments, your eye appointment, your gynecology appointment, a physical appointment. When was the last time you had a physical? When was the last time you went to the gynecologist? Maybe you want to get a mammogram or not. Maybe there's something, a bump, a something that's been bugging us, but we've been a little fearful to go. Maybe there's a pain that's been bothering us, but we endure it because we're used to it. Here's the challenge. Call them this week. Sit down. Make the phone call. Treat yourself with kindness and love like you do a lot of other people in your life. If for some reason you are not coming from a place of kindness, here's your other challenge. Find kindness. Start with yourself so that then you can bring it out to your family, to your community, and to our world. Let's be kind. And oftentimes it starts with ourselves so that we can then continue to do for others. Remember what they say on the plane, and it's so true. You first put the air mask on yourself in order to then help somebody else. Don't forget to take care of self. Have a great day. This is Dr. Kat.